desde Las Vegas, Nevada. Iniciamos con el programa Hablando de Bienes y Raíces con JC Castillo y sus invitados. Comenzamos.
Good morning, Las Vegas. My name is JC Castillo. We're starting here our podcast today. We're going to be talking with great experts that I always like to have here as guests. We're going to be here. We're today live, Friday, September the 12th. Unbelievable how the time is flying by. We have two guests here today. They're going to be talking about something that I don't think a lot of people talk about out there. And I really, really appreciate them taking their time to come out here and speaking with me on this episode. So we're going to go ahead and start, and we're going to introduce our guests. We're going to go ahead and introduce Ms. Carmen. Carmen, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you? I'm good.
I'm doing great, Carmen. So can you please tell me your name, your last name, the company you work for, and what kind of real estate you've involved yourself with, please?
So my name is Carmen Miller Branch, and I am with Berkshire Hathaway, the Summerlin office. I primarily deal in the luxury market. I've been with Berkshire for about 5 months now. I was with the Berkridge before that. Mm-hmm. Prior to that, the last 5 or 6 years, I've been in the market as far as an investor, buying and selling and things of that nature, flipping a few properties.
Right, nice. And we also have it here, Denise. Denise, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you?
So again, first name, last name, company, how long you been in the industry, and what kind of business you run out there?
All right. Well, my name is Denise Senna. I am with Berkshire Hathaway. Mm-hmm. I have been with Berkshire Hathaway, the Summerlin office, for about 9 to 10 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Before that, I've also been licensed real estate agent and investor in California for 10 years prior to that as well. Mm-hmm. So I have my fair share of knowledge of investing and also in the mortgage business, but we don't talk about mortgages anymore. Right. But yes, I did a lot of transactions in both states for many years. But primarily I've been on the upper side of the market.
Yes.
Primarily luxury. As fast as Las Vegas and the Valley has grown into the luxury market, I've been at that higher scale as it's grown because I've been here a long time, yeah. But I've seen it change.
And you know what? I'm glad that you mentioned that because we're looking at that in the last 10 years. Our luxury market has really risen, right? Because 10 years ago, having a $1.5 million listing, a $2 million listing was like, oh my God, that is the luxury. And now we're looking that the prices are just skyrocketing. Can you tell me how that transition, well, you've been in the industry, have you seen the increase of the sales prices and the actually, luxury market?
Well, sure. The number of luxury homes that have been built mm-hmm. is a huge number.
Right.
That the builders are actually building luxuries and the construction of custom homes. That's correct. Because the money and the people are coming here from other markets right. around the world, around the country, and a lot of high net worth individuals are here. Mm-hmm. It's bringing that, so you have a lot more brand new construction that are just mega gorgeous luxury homes. On the flip side, everybody running here and moving here because of the income tax break, mm-hmm. that has driven our real estate market up, even on the 20-year-old homes. So even those homes and that the equity has been skyrocketing and building over the short amount of years.
Right.
Because, 20 years ago, we did not have appreciation like we do now in the last 5 years, especially that COVID craze. It just pushed it even higher. So you're looking at the market shift with your older homes in the inventory. Mm-hmm. Those prices are getting higher and higher and pushed higher.
Yeah.
As well as now you're competing with the brand new turnkey, and those are, it's hard to find something that's not $1 million if it's brand new.
Right.
So,
yeah. And that's really important, Carmen, because, as a person that you have invested in properties and mm-hmm. flipped, you mm-hmm. need to understand how the growth yes. impacts the return on your investment. And a lot, like Denise said, we have a lot of high worth people that are moving into town. They're buying homes here mm-hmm. because we've all of a sudden became the town. Well, we were always the town to be in.
We were the town to be in because of the Strip, but now we're also the town to be in because of the Raiders. We're also the town
yes.
to be in because of the Golden Knights.
Correct.
And if a basketball team comes here, then it's going to be, I think the prices are going to rise even more.
Correct.
Yeah.
And in that luxury market, again, we're talking about, like Denise said, we're competing the older homes, like, Spanish Trails has been set for a very long time. Beautiful homes there and everything. But price-wise, and then just, customer or custom home-wise that they're building now, like Blue Heron, they're two totally different properties, right? And that's something that a lot of people in the luxury market need to understand, that, if you want the older looking, dated, multi-million-dollar home, it still exists. If you want to go ahead and get a brand new home that is a multi-million-dollar property, we also have that range of the market. Isn't that true? Isn't that correct?
It's true, and it's almost a clear divide.
Yes.
Because the consumer has their choice now. Do you want that nostalgic, that gaudy, that old country Mediterranean look, or do you want the super modern look?
Yeah.
You have two sets of buyers, and it could be youth and elderly, but they both have their own style and their desires. So it's hard to just say, oh, they want that. Well, no, they have their choice of what they really desire. And a different part of the option is, are you wanting to buy a 30-year-old home that is a masterpiece in that timeless Tuscan hills? Or are you saying, I want new plumbing, I want a new roof, I want a brand new house? It's a clear divide on what you're getting, whether or not you're in Spanish Trails, or you're in South Shore in Lake Las Vegas,
Correct.
or you're in the hills of Henderson. Are you looking for a 20 or 30-year-old home or something brand new? Either if it's remodeled, that's one thing, but if we're talking brand new construction with new, windows and doors and the internal of the walls, it's two things.
Well, let's be honest, right? The technology of building homes have definitely changed, because now when you go to, I've gone to Dragon Ridge, and you start driving up once you pass the gate, you start looking at all those older homes and everything, and once you start hitting the mountain, they look totally different, right? And the technology, like you say, the windows now are different, and everything. Carmen, you being a person that has purchased into this, as a buyer in a luxury market, what is it that you're looking for? Are you looking for, the style, or are you looking really as an investment and saying, how am I going to go ahead and, benefit from this if I purchase this now and maybe sell it in a couple of years? What is the mindset of a luxury buyer at that, and in that price range?
So I'm kind of torn between the two. From a personal perspective,
please.
I love the older build. We're going to have a luxury home showcase. And one of the homes is 22 Rue Grimaldi.
Yeah.
And it is exceptional.
Yeah.
I mean, the wood floors, the wood trim, everything is super solid.
Right.
On the flip side, my husband is a developer, and we are actually starting to build new in Pahrump.
Oh, okay.
And so it is one story, 3,600 square feet on an acre lot, all new. And of course, I get to have a little opportunity to do some designing.
Nice.
So I might be coming back talking about designing or something like that. But so I'm kind of torn between the two. I think it's a personal preference. But if I were purchasing other than building, I probably would go with a new build to resell. But if it was for my personal property, I live in a home right now that's was built in 1995.
Right.
So, and it is gorgeous. It's like an imitation Frank Lloyd Wright.
Yeah.
And it's large downstairs, smaller upstairs, wood everywhere. I just love that. So, personally, I would probably go with the older, the solid bones. And if I wanted to upgrade later, which we have done.
Right.
But if I were building, I would probably go with the new.
Right. And I think that's really important to really be specific about it, right? Because you come with two different worlds of thought, right? In LA, we know that there's a high praise market out there, and there's houses that have been built in the 1920s that are $35 million, and people have not renovated a single thing because they want to keep that nostalgia. And then we have the ultra mega, properties that are $80 million. They're being built for $100 million, and everything is like luxury, and you have LEDs all over the place. So it really is two different mindsets. But at the end of the day, you're buying luxury because you know you're going to be able to, it's an investment, right? It's not just, well, I mean, let's say your personal home, it's a different thing. But most of the time, people with high net worth, they have multiple homes and they're looking at it as an investment part. And Denise, talk to me about how the mindset should be for a buyer that's looking to move into the market here in Vegas. And like you said, in the last couple of years, our prices have increased so much that it is a good return in your investment at the end of the day.
Oh, sure. If you buy a luxury home and you're surrounded by luxury home, it's all going to rise together.
Correct.
And, we have a lot of news and a lot of things in the market, okay?
Yeah.
And I have my clients call me all the time and ask, what do you think is going to happen to the market? What do you think? Is it going to crash? What is going to go on with the interest rates? And I mean, and it's every excuse, every topic that you hear or read about in an article.
Correct.
And they all think it's going to crash. And I'm like, no, we have a shortage of housing still in America. We have a shortage of housing.
Yes.
So the slightest adjustment or the glitch of a market shift doesn't last long.
Right.
And I've seen it over years where you'll have a trend and a shift and then a pause, and then it's only a couple months until everybody collectively gets to their mindset and the buyers and the sellers are on the same page again, and then it's running again.
Yeah.
Right now, you kind of see everybody pausing, sitting on the fence. Oh, do I do it? Do I buy? And you're like, get off the fence. If you don't, you're going to lose out again. So it's a lot of the hearsay, and people are cautious. But when you're serious, people have to move, want to move. They're relocating. They're changing because of family, job relocation, needs to, versus the guy that's just, I might invest. I might put some money in, and they're not the real buyer that's dictating the market. They're the exception to the rule, the smaller guy.
Right.
Most of the other people are either parking their money, investing it, knowing it's going to go up. I mean, we have my homes that I have listed.
Yeah.
This is like the 6th home that they own. The other one, this is the 3rd property they own. The other one is like, I just want to go back to my family. I don't like the heat. I just want to move. So, I mean, you get so many different reasons, but a lot of it's parking, and this is their 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th home.
Right.
So it's luxury.
And I love that you mentioned that because, as you were saying that, a thought came into my mind and say, the luxury clientele, they don't need to buy the houses. They invest in homes. And like you said, some of them are just parked there for a while, and because they know they're going to make money. They know that the Las Vegas is a hot market. We're looking at, and I think Carmen also mentioned it, that, our sports, right? Our sports figures are growing here in town. We have Major League Baseball coming in town. We heard about the studios that are coming in. Those studio executives, they're not going to live, in a $1 million plus home. They're going to come in and require $20-30 million homes because they're living at $100 million homes in LA. So the clientele is a little bit different when you're dealing with the luxury market, right? Carmen? And you need to understand why they're purchasing, because it's not a need that they need to purchase. They want to park their money somewhere because they know it's going to make them money. Isn't that true?
Yep.
So can you tell me a little bit more about how you manage that conversation with somebody that says, hey, what is the market, or what is the luxury market here in Vegas? Is it then he said, is it a good time to buy?
It's always a good time to buy. No.
Perfect. No.
As an agent, it's always a good time to buy.
Right.
But I think Denise has some statistics that we were talking about earlier before the show that I think she should share with their group and the
Okay.
Definitely. So I know that we were talking about a particular community, which is Lake Las Vegas. Everybody knows, or if you don't know about Lake Las Vegas, you should get to know it. But Lake Las Vegas has some very specific data that we were talking before the show, and I would like for you to share that information with us, please.
Okay. Well, specifically Lake Las Vegas, which is in Henderson, I pulled numbers for the entire community. Whereas some people don't know this, but I'll share it, is that North Shore is on the left-hand side of the lake. North Shore is a lot of the newer homes being built because they have been developing for the last 5 years. It's been on fire. South Shore is the exclusive guard-gated country club side.
Right.
There's an additional guard gate, and it's on the Jack Nicklaus golf course, and they are an exclusive higher end luxury homes. And that is a Mediterranean neighborhood, Tuscan style, that old country, and it's
favorite.
Gorgeous.
Favorite.
Right. You just go around the corner, you're back on North Shore, and everything seems ultra modern.
Right.
Well, you're looking at 30-year-old homes and 2-year-old homes.
Correct.
The building has now bled into the available lots that have been in South Shore that has been dirt for hundreds of years.
Yes.
And now it's building, and now you have your choice of new home builds down on the waterways, some on the golf course, some near the water, some near the back of the lake area, and it's just booming. Well, you have a lot of inventory right now. And just statistically speaking, let's back up like at least 10 years ago, 5 years ago, before the COVID thing was introduced.
Correct.
Generally speaking, luxury property, $2 million to $6 million is that little pocket.
Yeah.
It always took 6 months to a year to sell a luxury home anyway. That was a normal market for luxury.
Right.
Right now, we're almost at that normal number again.
Okay.
It's taking 6 months to a year to sell luxury property between the $2 and $6 million mark.
Okay.
There are exceptions to the rules. There are some property that are selling within 10 days, 20 days. And that's, personal opinion, if it's turnkey and really outshines the inventory, it's going to sell.
Right.
But if there's something that's there that looks a little dated, there's some work that needs to be done, there's a little bit of age and wear and tear, those are sitting a little longer.
Right.
Because of the cost of remodeling something that's 6,000 square feet versus remodeling something that's 2,000 square feet. Little different, right?
Yes.
So in a nutshell, just real quick numbers, we have all of Lake Las Vegas, there's only 36 active listings in both North Shore and South Shore.
Between 2 and 6?
Yep.
Okay.
There's only 13 of those that are in South Shore.
Okay.
And 23 are in North Shore. So it really is an exclusive part on this other side, right?
Correct.
The South. Now, there's only been 4 sales in 180 days.
Oh, wow.
In South Shore. And there's only been 8 sales in 180 days in North Shore. So the market has not softened because the prices aren't dropping and just going down fast. The market has stalled and slowed down, but it's not dropping, and there's a big difference.
Right. And I think that, we could probably, and again, I'm not really familiar with the luxury market, but I am assuming that, if the interest rate is 6.5%, 7% at a $4 million property, that's a pretty hefty payment. But also maybe a third or maybe more than 1/3 of the properties are being paid cash as well. So, that factor comes in, but everybody's hoping that the market is going to crash. And you said it earlier, and I think Carmen could agree with me. I don't think the market is going to crash. Now we have a correction of the market, which, it just always happens.
That's normal real estate cycle, and it's healthy.
Yes.
Just like the stock market.
Yes.
It's healthy for corrections. Don't kid yourself. You can't go up forever.
No, exactly. Right. So I think that a lot of people need to understand that, what happens in the, well, if you want to call it the standard real estate, the $200,000 to $500,000 where we have people standing on the sideline. We still have the same in the luxury market, but in the luxury market, it's a bigger investment, right? And you're looking at it as a investment because, like you said, if you kind of remodel, a 6,000 square foot home, it's a little bit more pricier than a 2,500 square foot home. Also, having the ability to be in an exclusive area within an exclusive area sets a totally different price point. And Carmen is shaking her head like, yeah, she's understand because, as somebody that has purchased properties, you're looking for that exclusivity, right? You're looking to be kind of like, in your own little world, which, you could afford it. You should be able to be in that scenario. How does that factor in to when you're talking with buyers and they're saying, you know what's the most exclusive area in Las Vegas? Because that's where I want to be. Do you?
That's a very difficult question because it's really based on their needs and their wants.
Okay.
Like you can't just say, oh, it's the Ridges. Oh, it's,
Right.
It's really based on their needs and their wants. Like, the two very modern properties that are part of the luxury home showcase, they are wonderful. They're beautiful, but they have a 0 lot line. So there's no yard, right? And you could go to the Ridges, which they, half-acre lots, so on and so forth. And you could go over to where in South Shore, where 22 Rue Grimaldi is, and you've got a lot of land, right? So it kind of depends. I think that you could show them a variety of different properties, kind of explain the area to a point of where you're able to explain it, and then show them. I think the other part of the market that's really important is the sellers realistically listing their homes for what
the market is,
what it'll sell for. I've seen very unrealistic pricing, and 500,000, 700,000, 800,000 over anything that's sold in the area, and then immediately in the 30 days their agent has said, okay, we're not getting any bites, no one's coming to look at it, we're not even getting proof of funds for buyers to come and get it. So maybe we need to drop 500,000, but that's also very alarming for a buyer. Myself being a buyer, if I saw a house that was listed for $5 million and all of a sudden it's a month later it's 4.2, and I already knew that it was only worth 4, kind of like, and you pass it by, so.
And I love that you're mentioning that, because that is one of the factors that we're looking right now. And like Denise said, there's a correction of the market. We created that fake elevated pricing because we have a lot of listing agents that are like, yeah, we could throw it for $500,000 more. And you know what? I have never talked about, dropping prices of $500,000. Usually my agents here are like, you know what, we're going to drop it $15,000, and they're like, my seller's having a heart attack. I can't imagine having that conversation with the seller.
I don't think it's the listing agent. I think it's the seller, and I also think it's that period that we went through when we had all these buyers coming in from California who were paying, I bought an investment property that it was $800,000. We ended up spending $865,000.
Right.
Because we had to beat everybody else out. This was in 2021,
correct,
right?
Yeah.
So I think those elevated prices came from that era, and I think that sellers just have to be a little bit more realistic.
Well, and the reason why I say listing agents when it comes to that, and I'm not blaming them, I'm saying that we need to make sure that we
give them the mean stare.
I know, I felt that. I felt that. No. I think that it's because we're probably not communicating good enough with the seller to understand that the market has shifted.
Let me interject a little bit, because what you said makes sense and it's real.
Yes.
However, let's just talk about the truth behind the buyers and sellers in the luxury market are highly sophisticated.
Yes.
They are savvy. They are where they're at with this money for a reason.
That is correct.
Sometimes they will overpower, and often do overpower, the advice from a real estate professional.
Okay.
They do know better in other ways, and sometimes it's hurtful when it's real estate. But fair to say, with the internet and how much information we can get as a consumer, a lot of people think, oh, hey, I went and Googled, I'm a doctor now, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people say, I went to Zillow, I know what's up. Well, there's a lot of self-education. There's a lot of research. People can do their own comps in a way. You have a lot more sophisticated, savvy people, whether or not they have the pocketbook that's super deep or not, they're not dumb.
Okay.
Making that connection between a buyer and a seller, and having them understand that we all need to be rational and reasonable with what you're actually offering for a house as a buyer trying to get a deal, because a lot of the egos in this, and everybody in the real estate market knows the ego is huge. If you're selling a $10 million house, they know they're going to get it, but a buyer buying a $10 million house says, I'm the one with $10 million, I want a deal. So you have both people that want a deal, and they're both very much highly skilled in negotiations. So with this level, you are dealing with a different type of client, negotiation, privacy, safety, security, if it's for the agents and the athletes and the executives of these sports teams. You need privacy, confidentiality, safety, armed guard safety, next level. You're dealing with so much in depth versus a regular house that you have more factors that come into play on a $6 million house than you do at one. Right?
Right.
So.
And I think that's a great point that you're clearing that up, because, Carmen and I were talking before the air that, with this, luxury event that you're having this weekend, right? And we talked about the difference of, setting up a private showing. And like you mentioned, and Denise, for a private showing, you need to show approval funds. You got to, literally have a background check, because they just don't, because these people that are listing these homes, they're not just anybody, right? They're people that are, high power people. They are, influential people. They are people that are in the public eye. And you want to make sure that as an agent, you're dealing with, the security factor. And the event that you're having, explain to me how this is beneficial for somebody out there that just would love to kind of look at these homes without having all of that, things to go
we
through.
rehearsed this, and you were supposed to call it an open house.
An open house.
And then I was
that's
supposed
right.
to tell you
That's right.
why it is not an open house.
That is correct.
It is a luxury home showcase. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's great.
I'm
No.
just
But it is a difference between an open house and a luxury showcase, because and again, right? It is a different mentality at that price level, right? So it's not an open house.
Right.
Yes.
It's not an open house. It's a luxury home showcase.
Right.
And the difference is, normally you go to an open house, and regardless of what the price point is, you go in and you feel this pressure to walk through the house, see everything really quickly, and then walk out.
Yes.
Right? And you may be guided by an agent. You may not be guided by an agent. It just depends on what your preference is, if the house is vacant or occupied. But a luxury home showcase, especially the one that we're doing, is a little bit different, because you're going to be able to come in to the home, get the vibe of the home. If you want to sit on the couch and have a conversation, have a conversation. If you're bringing your wife, your kids, or whatever, come in, look at the home, get a vibe for it, get a vibe for how it feels to be there. And if you've got refreshments and you have a DJ playing and you've got smooth tunes in the background, it gives you an opportunity to experience the property, and not feeling like you have to rush through it. And an agent is going to say, "Are you working with an agent? What's your number? I'll put all your information down." And sometimes that's just very off-putting.
Correct.
And we want buyers to come out with or without their agent, walk through the properties, sit down out on the balcony. We have an amazing lakefront property. We have one that's just a street back that has amazing views of the lake, nice breeze. The weather's going to be amazing.
Beautiful.
It's this Saturday and Sunday between 1 and 4. There'll be several agents there to answer questions. And leave you alone.
Right.
And let you just walk through the properties. And it's an advantage too, because you don't have to get all of your financial information together and send it over to your agent or whoever is the listing agent for the property, which Denise is the listing agent for all 3 properties.
Okay.
And I just thought there's such amazing properties, and this would just be a great idea to let people see them, without having to rush through them and feel pressure to give up some sort of information or
Right. And I think that's really important, because again, right, you want to have them to get the feel for the home, right? You want them to experience what it will be like living in the area. I mean, the house, yes, is great, it's going to have beautiful floor, but you really want to experience, the environment around, right? The neighborhood, the views, and all of that stuff. And I think Carmen brought up a good point on, why are you asking me for my proof of funds before I go look at the home? And I think, Denise, you could explain that in a little bit more detail of the reason why it's important to be able to ask that for as a listing agent and also as a buyer to be able to provide that. Because, again, we're not dealing with just, $500,000 homes. It's a totally different ballpark up there, right?
Right. To be fair on both sides, I've had it where my buyers that are very wealthy, they find it offensive when I have to ask them for proof of funds to show them a $5 million house.
Oh.
And they say, I don't want to show my bank account. There's more than enough, but I don't want to show them all of it. And so you get both sides where it's a privacy breach. And I had a gentleman say, I'm not going to give you anything electronic, email or text. I'll show it to you in person, but you're not going to take a picture of it. And I'm taking it, so there's nothing on the internet or anywhere of proof of his assets. And I said, I get it. Well, think of it if this was your home. If you are the seller of a $3 million house,
right.
I want to know who's coming through my house.
Correct.
Are they casing it to rob me?
Ooh.
Are they looking to see what they can come and take jewelry if it's laying around? If an agent is not with them, so that's been a huge problem with open houses. If an agent does not accompany their people, who knows if the kid is stealing something that they shouldn't be touching or something. I'm not saying it happens all the time at this caliber. It doesn't. It has happened.
Right.
That's why we want to know who's in the house. Are you a bona fide buyer? Can you afford it if you liked it? Or
right.
are we just cutting down on the amount of people that are looky-loos with,
yeah.
I just want to see the house because it looks cool? No, at this price point, we want to know who specifically is walking in this house. Can they afford it? And we keep us in the same playing field. It's just not a free-for-all and everybody just jump on the beds and not at this level.
Right. And I think that's, again, very important because a lot of people, they if we're not dealing in that market, we don't understand why the questioning is and what the scenario is, right? I think the way that you explained it right now, it makes a lot of sense because, this high worth network people, they maintain and they got to the net worth they're at because they're very savvy. Right. And like you said, some people might get offended because like 5 million, I got 25. But, it's like that's not the point. The point is, how do I keep my privacy at this scenario at bay? Because there's so many things that could go wrong in a scenario like this, right? When you're dealing with somebody coming into this house, like you said, I mean, you can't go to the Mercedes-Benz dealer and start sitting down in all the cars without the salesman saying, can you really afford this house, right? So it is a different mindset and people need to understand, but it is a segment of the market that is catching on. It continues to grow. I mean, you and I had a conversation and I heard somebody not so long ago that in less than 5 years, we're gonna have an $80 million listing here soon, which is mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing.
But can you see it coming at any time soon? Because you deal within that market, you deal with the developers, and they're like, you know what? Can I buy land with great view and then just build a kick-ass house out there? We're looking at, the Summit, right? Yeah. We haven't talked about the Summit, and that is a community out there that unless you are involved in that market,
not getting in.
You're not getting in, right? So what kind of pricing points are we looking Summit-wise compared to the Riches? Because the Riches is right next door and it's totally different. So can you share that with us, please?
Well, it's next level security as well.
Correct.
Next level privacy. It'll take just, build it and they will come.
Yeah.
It's almost getting to that point. It'll take one person to come and build that $60 million house. And then when they list it and sell it, we are now that market.
Yep.
It takes one person to do it and build it. And these things are massive that are going in. Yeah. So in time, it'll be here because the people are coming here.
Right.
And building, knowing that our valley is incredible.
And in the Summit, correct me if I'm wrong, but the lot price is the price of a 4,000 square foot home you could probably buy in the Ridges, right?
Right.
And
yes.
So,
yeah,
it's already set itself aside for that $80 million mark. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I remember when the Summit was being built, the lot premiums were 1.2 million. Now you can't touch anything under 4 to 5 million, just like the empty lot. Two things happen, right? Next level security, but also the neighbors, the people that are buying in there, they also have elevated, the price points with, moving into these neighborhoods and, just really building out these really beautiful homes. And then all of a sudden now somebody's like, you know what? Hey, I want to either be matched or be better. And that in the same, it keeps on just developing. It creates its own little world if you really think about it, right? Yeah. If we compare, because I know a lot of people talk about the Dragon Ridge, right? Dragon Ridge and the Summit, I think they're two different worlds, but they're very similar as well because they have a lot of great competition. There's a lot of great properties coming up in the market. Is that true?
It is very true. I would say the one thing I've noticed about this city, and it cracks me up because I've been here since the 80s, is you have a lot of people that will absolutely just say, I will never go to Henderson. I don't want to be in Henderson. And then you have the other side that says, I'm not going to ever live in Summerlin.
Yes.
But those are the two places that have these ultra luxurious properties. they have different views. If you think about it, our valley as a whole, that as you build up, it goes up and your elevation is climbing. So you get different city views.
That is true.
Strip views. Sunrise and sunset is different in the positioning lot of your house, right?
Right.
All of it is, it comes into play. Dragon Ridge has these incredible homes, and they're up in the mountains and dredged in the side of the mountain.
Yes.
And now in the Summerlin area, we have, yes, it's up in the mountains, but it's not like the steeper mountain. We're a little bit flatter of that mountain.
Yeah.
Again, different views.
Right.
Sunrises and sunsets. Which way do you want it hit? Which views do you want of the strip? I mean, it is all so different when you're standing up there in each of the communities. I mean, think of, let me touch on something else.
Yeah.
The new homes, think of what Live is building. They're building smart homes.
Yes.
These smart homes are now a next level of what does a buyer and a consumer want. It can control and regulate, not regulate, but it monitors your health and your biorhythms and whatnot. It's next level.
Yeah.
Well, Live is in Henderson. I haven't seen anything quite yet, but you know, the other market we haven't touched on is Southern Highlands. And we have a mega luxurious $6 million home in Southern Highlands right now. And it's a Raiders player's home that he's built from scratch. And that is, again, another secondary guard gate exclusive part of Las Vegas, but that is super south. You're in the middle of Henderson and Summerlin. That's the south part, and that, again, is another touch of luxury and class and just next level living.
So this is why it's important to hire the right professional, because you guys understand the scenarios that the communities provide for the buyer, right? If the buyer says, hey, you know what, I want to live closer to the, you know, to California. Well, you know, Southern Highlands is there, right? I mean, there's so many other things. The reason why people purchase these homes, like we talked about, right? They're parking their money, they're investing, but also we have a lot of new people, like, you know, you just mentioned, right? You have these sports figures that coming in here, and they're trained in invest. Right, they're building these beautiful homes, they're living in them, because I know they eventually, you know, if you have a good career, you stay with the same team and everything, but most likely they'll end up. But they're looking at it, I'll build this home and everything, and if I have to sell it, I will sell it, and I know I'm going to make my money plus more. Right. That's why it's important to figure out who your professional is that's going to help you with this, who is that one that's going to represent you, so you can understand the whole, you know, world of you're getting into. But at the same token, like you said, the buyers, they want to get it as cheap as you can. And the negotiation factor is a really key thing, because again, we're not talking about $15,000 drops. We're talking about, you know, $500,000, $750,000. How is that environment when you're going back and forth and negotiating with the people? How intense does it really get?
It gets intense because they both have a very great point they make.
Okay.
When you have a buyer contemplating buying, let's just call it the house I was talking about in Southern Highlands, that's One Olympia Canyon Way.
Okay.
That is a brand new home that's been built and never lived in.
Oh.
So a buyer will walk in there and say, this is incredible, it's turnkey, I'll move in. But the next buyer will say, well, what will it cost me to build it? What if I go and hire this same contractor and go build the house? What is my bottom line? Well, I don't care if it takes me 9 months to a year to build it, I'll save $1.5 million.
Right.
That's where the negotiation comes into play. What will it cost me to build it myself? And that happens right now with Lake Las Vegas, with the 3 homes we're going to have our luxury showcase for tomorrow and the next, is the cost to build the home through Blue Heron and wait a year versus just buying it right now, turnkey, move in and go. And versus the one on 22 Rue Grimaldi, it's gorgeous, it's 25 years old, but do you want to move in and live in a perfectly beautiful home overlooking the golf course, or do you think, I don't really want that because I need to remodel it a little bit? What will it cost me to remodel versus what if I go build the next lot over that's blank?
Right.
Or what if I go buy the new construction and it'll be ready in 9 months?
Right.
What is the difference in lifestyle? It's the difference of, Do you want to be on the golf course? Do you want to be on a waterfront? Do you want views? All of it comes into play. And like I said, they are very savvy. They crunch numbers well.
Yeah.
You know, we have highly intelligent people crunching numbers, and I have, you know, a seller saying, I want this number because I put in $500,000 in improvements. Knowingly, she overly improved it, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it's there.
Right.
So the money is there. It's proved and shown that, yes, it's a little overpriced, but it's not when you look at what she put into it.
Right.
The buyers and the sellers know exactly what they're doing, and that's why they have their position that they're at.
Right.
And it comes to a meeting of the mind of understanding, yes, time is of the essence. I want it right now. I'll pay you right now. Let's make a deal versus I could take it or leave it. I have a year to wait. Let's build.
Right.
Very different.
And that's really, you know, great that you're sharing that, because again, people that are not used to dealing with this, you know, with this market, they will never understand that position of, you know what, hey, yeah, I know you invested another $50,000, but you know the finishes on the property are just phenomenal, right? And these are people that not only own homes here in the United States, they own homes all over the world, and the finishes, the modeling, you know, the negotiations are at the end of the day all the same, because you know they all want to get the best deal that they can. Carmen, you as a developer, your husband is a developer. When you guys are looking for land, what is it that you guys are looking for? You know, are you guys looking for the view, like, you know, Denise said? Are you looking for the golf course view? Or really, it's just really, you know, there's a project in mind and you're like, you know what, we're just going to get this?
Well, right now, the project for us is Pahrump.
Okay.
And when I say that, people are like, you know. So, but, you know, permits in 2024 were up 80% in Pahrump. There's a major builder that's just got approval for 600 you know, units. 600 more lots or whatever, to break it down into units. And so we've been concentrating there. We've probably bought about 6 or 7 acres. The biggest issue there is subdividing. And so we're in the process of doing that on a 5-acre lot and a 10-acre lot. So my concentration, or his concentration, so we are a team, so both of our concentration. I mean, it took a minute for him to get me to come around to it, but, you know, I've spent a lot of time there, and the mountains, it's beautiful, it's quiet, the people are just awesome. I mean, contrary to if you watch, you know, some of the shows on TV, you think, oh, that's Pahrump, but it really isn't. It's a very beautiful place, and there's a huge opportunity for luxury market within $1-2 million range. I mean, there are some $6 million, $8 million around the racetrack. Yeah, and in the golf community, there are, you know, 600, 700, 800. The property where we're building, there is an 800,000, 900. There's $1 million. Some of them are horse properties, which is good. It's a great retirement area. I just wanted to bring this up because this is something that just recently, in the last month or so, has come to my attention that I probably hadn't been in this community for a long time. Is Las Vegas Country Club.
That's an older neighborhood.
So I, a long time ago, owned a unit in Turnberry Place. And so some of my acquaintances lived in Las Vegas Country Club, and I had been there, and even then it's kind of, it's okay, that type of thing. But recently, there's a new listing there that James Meadows has, that's 778 Vegas Valley Drive, and it's totally remodeled. It's on the golf course. There's a pool. I mean, it's just a beautiful property. But what really caught my attention is there are probably 6 or 7 lots that are vacant in that area where they're also doing new builds. And I don't even think the lots are going for a crazy amount, you know, maybe $300,000-$400,000. But I was really surprised by that because it is a perfect location for anybody that's moving from California, Arizona. They want to come here. They want to live in luxury. They want to be on the golf course. They want, you know, to have guard gated. I mean, it's like a perfect area. You can walk wherever you would like to go, and it's still luxury. Yes, there are some older units in there, but I see it making a change, and I was like very impressed by that. I staged a property. I staged 778 Vegas Valley, and we were there for like some hours, and so I had an opportunity to walk the neighborhood, and I was like kind of impressed, and so
and you know what? It's funny because Denise brought up, you know, like Dragon Ridge, right? Dragon Ridge is a brand new community. Probably the houses have been built there from the last 4 or 5 years. They're embedded in the mountain. You very hardly ever see any greenery. And then we talk about Las Vegas Golf Course, and it's like older, mature neighborhood. I mean, it's such a drastic change, but yet still you could get a really good deal in there. And that's what's the beautiful thing about our valley. We have ultra brand new, we have older neighborhoods, but still the values of the home are sitting there. Isn't that correct?
That's correct. I mean, you do have your choice. Do you want these trees that have grown and you have nothing but shade?
Yes.
Do you want greenery? We have communities for that.
Yes.
Do you want the nothing but the strip views? We have communities for that. Do you want the mountain views, which I find our mountains gorgeous, even on the backside by Pahrump, when you're looking at the mountains any which way, all directions, I'm always looking up. It's beautiful. We have the pick of the litter, and that's why I think our city has bloomed and blossomed into a mega city of the world.
Yes.
Because that's why people are coming here, and they're not stopping.
No.
Even though we make the news a lot, and Las Vegas makes the news quite a bit for many things, we're still Las Vegas, and you're never going to take that away.
No.
Las Vegas is a prime location, destination, globally recognized, and also locally, now that our city has embraced a metropolitan hub of life. We have sports. We have culture that's finally coming here. It is Las Vegas, and it's not going to go away.
Nope. And the other thing, you know, we're talking about, you know, high-end communities, but also let's not forget downtown. Downtown is turning around. We have the Cello Towers that are coming in. That's going to be a beautiful building. It's going to be a beautiful building. You know, so we have all the entertainment in the world. We don't have to travel to go see artists. Artists come to us, right? And that's what a lot of people also that are living in that, you know, high price range area, they love the fact that, you know what, I could get up and go watch literally anybody.
And don't forget the food. We are now foodie nation.
Yes, we are
right?
foodie nation. That's right.
We have the chefs that have come here and put their name on the walls, but we have some of the best chefs that are up and coming. And now we are a foodie town. I mean, I meet people that fly in just for things that went viral on.
It's amazing what social media has done for our city.
Our food and our housing and our lifestyle, and even the downtown Las Vegas, how they're revamping that with some of the little bars and lounges and the restaurants. Love it.
Listen, I was going to talk about downtown because downtown has such a great food and like little quirky little bars in there, and they're just, you know, world renowned. I mean, you know, social media has made them a destination now, and it's just crazy how our city has really, you know, evolved everybody, right? From the ultra rich to just the regular Joe Blow. You guys could be all enjoying their city. You know, yes, it does get a little hot, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's only a few months out of the year.
A little hot. It's a little hot.
Air conditioning.
Right, but But at the end of the day, right? It's the environment, right? I mean, just look at what's happening right now with the Sphere, with the Wizard of Oz. I just heard an article about them. They were talking about how, you know, when they came on and say, we should do this, everybody like, what are you thinking of? And look at it is the biggest hit in the world. So we're always thinking of other ways to entertain people, and people that are high net worth people, they love that, right? They love that type of lifestyle. They love that ability that, hey, if you need to fly to California, 45 minutes, you know, you're there, Arizona. So it's very accessible to pretty much a lot of people all over the world. I mean, I'm sure you have clients that has houses here, but they also homes in New York and Miami, right?
All over.
How are they looking at Las Vegas in the market, in the luxury? Because for a while, like I said, we were not a luxury market.
Well, let me also touch on a point. I'm also a specialist in the high-rise.
Yes, okay.
The high-rise market. Okay,
Cool.
so I have walked and sold the high rises that you see on the Las Vegas Strip.
Yeah.
Some of them are traditional condominiums that you can live full time, and some of them are short-term rental condo hotels.
Correct.
For investment purposes. This market has even gone up and skyrocketed. So now this is also a very ultra luxury market.
Yeah.
And fair to say, you can have $1 to $2 million, $20 million units. Some of these penthouses are jaw dropping.
Right.
Depending on what view you have, which way, the city that you're overlooking, that market itself is a luxury market. It's specialized, but we get buyers that move their money to different markets.
Right.
So I have buyers that have high rises in Miami. They have their penthouses in New York or Chicago. And what they're doing is they want the lifestyle experience for a few years in Las Vegas. So they're moving their second or third home to the lifestyle on the Strip in Vegas.
Right.
And they're going to do this for 5 or 6 years. And then they're going to go to London. And then they move their money from parts of Europe. And then they come back to this market wherever they want the lifestyle. And I also have a buyer who just went and bought on the ski slopes.
Oh.
He said, hey, Denise, I love the unit that you sold me in Vegas, but I'm going to go buy 2 more. He's in Vail and Salt Lake City.
Wow.
And he has 2 new high rises that it's just minutes to skiing, snowboarding, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And so they're moving their money and they're parking it and experiencing a lifestyle, whatever their heart desires,
Right.
whether or not it's in the sun or in the cold, wherever you go.
And that's what sets us apart, because we have Lake Mead. Right, we have the lakes area. I mean, if you want to live in an urban lake area, you have the lakes area. You got desert shorts and everything. Sky Canyon.
Oh yeah.
I mean, God, if you have not driven to Mount Charleston, you will be surprised how crazy the amount of homes out there. And I know that there's a couple of developers that are like, would a luxury home hit here? And I believe it will definitely hit, right?
Absolutely. There are some gorgeous communities out there that are 55 plus.
Yes.
They're beautiful floor plans. So we have people spreading their wings and they're saying, it's okay if I'm 20 minutes out of the Strip. It's okay if I'm 40 minutes out, because now we're no longer a small city with a couple of miles here and there. We're growing and expanding so much, heading to Mount Charleston and north, to the Mesquite line and to the California line, that we're expanding so much that now a drive, like California traffic drive, now people don't care if it's 30 minutes.
Yes.
Sky Canyon is blowing up and it's just going to keep going.
It is. And it's just, again, amazing, because it's really important for you to be working with an agent that knows what's happening in the market, right? And obviously you ladies know what you're doing. So believe it or not, the time has flown.
Oh, you were right.
What did I tell you, ladies? I'm telling you, it always happens with all my guests. So Carmen, again, if you want to go ahead and let me know the information about the event that you guys are having for this.
We are having
open
a
houses.
luxury home showcase.
Yes.
It is this weekend, 1 and 4 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. It will be featuring 3 homes, 22 Rue Grimaldi, which is in South Shore, and in North Shore we're going to be featuring.
You're still on the South Shore, but you're not within the gates of South Shore.
So you're adjacent.
Yes.
So you are connected to it because you're on the shoreline, waterfront of South Shore, but you're not paying the HOA inside the gate of South Shore.
That makes a big difference.
So all it is one little street around the corner, and you're either or, but you're still on that South Shore waterline.
That makes a big difference.
Yes. So it's all going to start at 36 Lakefront, which is right on the water. And then we also have 40 Heron Harbor, which is a little bit above, and you can still see the lake. And it has 2 balconies, right?
There's 3 stories. They have rooftop decks, and the one exceptional part of the 40 Heron Harbor home is that it is an end cap of the line of homes. So yes, they're single family residences, but if you are in the middle of the line, you have neighbors on both sides. 40 Heron Harbor is an end cap, and the entire side of the home has windows on every floor that you're looking at the lake on every level.
Wow.
Yes,
And you sit up higher than...
beautiful.
Yes,
Yes.
and you're elevated up one ridge line up, so
Yes.
your views are stunning.
Very cool. So Carmen, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, how can they do that? Please give me your name, your phone number, and your
They
social
can-
media, because I highly recommend you guys follow her on social media. Her social media is really cool. So yes.
So my social media across the board, IG, TikTok, Facebook, is Carmen Sells Vegas. You can reach me at 702-775-6776. You can also email me, carmen.miller@bhhsnv.com. But you can also see me
Yes.
at the Luxury Home Showcase this weekend between 1 and 4. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have a DJ. We're going to have a little bit of refreshments. If we need to caravan all over to each property, we would love to be a part of helping you do that. There will be multiple agents there. That's kind of how we bypass the open house kind of concept, and we're making it more of a luxury home showcase because there will be several people there for you to talk to and ask questions. And like I said, sit on the couch, sit out on the balcony, have a snack, grab a Perrier, and just enjoy yourself and feel the vibe of each property.
Awesome. And Denise, how can people get a hold of you? And also give me your social media, please, if you have one. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So you can reach me at 702-767-3071. My website is vegasrealestateadvisors.com. You can also find our social media handles at Vegas Real Estate Advisors.
Nice.
My personal side from my team is Denise Sells Vegas.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Denise and Carmen Sells Vegas.
There we go. Yeah.
And to come and visit us and see these properties, it's going to be different because you can experience resort style living. And it's a little different than if you're in a neighborhood and you're used to a tract home.
Yes.
And you're used to, 300 houses and we all have the same lot, right? This is a resort. It's like going into the Westin. It's like going into the Hilton or whatever you do. It's a resort style living on waterfront property with golf courses.
Yes.
And your lifestyle is a little different and exceptional versus a regular house.
Yeah.
So come and experience it with us at the luxury
Showcase. Yes. No, and I love how you describe it, because it is a different lifestyle, right? And I remember not so long ago or many years ago where I don't know what builder was building houses and they were giving cars.
Oh.
Remember that? I'm like, you know what? If you show up drunk, how do you remember which house you work at? Because all the houses look the same. This is different. This is custom. This is like you say, lake views. You got golf course views and everything. So you guys should go ahead and come this Saturday to watch the luxury showcase. I think it's a great idea, and I commend you guys and applaud for you guys for go ahead and being able to put this idea together, because I think it's great. Again, my name is JC Castillo. You could get a hold of me at 702-416-4302. You could follow me at JC Castillo Rep in all the social media. And also remember, Mr. Buyer, Mr. Seller, you guys have the right to choose the title company. So if you guys want to have great service, you could go ahead and use Equity Title. We would love to be working for you and closing your deals. Again, ladies, one more quick little tip before you leave, maybe 10 seconds each, on how do you see this luxury showcase going this weekend, and why should people come again? Denise?
Oh, well, you're not going to want to miss it. It's just too much fun.
There we go.
Yeah, and our weather is perfect for you to grab a little glass of something and sit and enjoy.
Perfect.
It's just going to be an amazing time. It's going to be an opportunity to see some amazing properties, and we want you all to be there.
Perfect. Well, again, my name is JC Castillo. Have a great weekend. Please don't forget to come to the showcase. The information is going to be down below. If you like the show, give it a like. If you don't like a show, let us know why, and we will definitely customize it to make sure that you have fun. Ladies, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to come in here. Again, JC Castillo, please take care of each other, behave, and have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you guys in the next show.